Hello, hello, hello. It's been a bit since I've recorded in videos. I recorded a whole bunch ahead of time, so I've had like the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 days off of recording. But I have been working in my journal. And as I said before, I'm doing a lot of the stuff off camera. But I am in a bind on camera because it's been a while since I've shown that. Um, and we'll kind of do a flip through and show you where I'm at right now. I'm at the point where I'm going to put it together, put it in the cover, um, fill the pockets, and then decide, what else I'm going to be adding into the kit. So I showed you guys the cover before. I have it covered in this is tissue paper, like you would wrap your presents in or put in packages. This I bought a long time ago. I got it at a secondhand store, got it home, and discovered that it was wet inside the bag, so it had a lot of bleed through. It's hard to see on here, but this is actually it's blue and green mixed together because they bled together, which I thought was good for an ocean themed journal. It is folded in half, glued together, so just to give it a little bit more heft to it. And then I've also lined my spine in that same paper. So the spine is the width of the internal spine is the same width as this spine, 1.5 inches. So that's, you want to make sure that it's going to close up in there. So if you didn't leave that gap there, this piece would need to be a little bit smaller, and your book also would not close as well. And as you can see, it's just slightly, ever so slightly shorter than the book itself. Got a little bit of a lip here and a little bit of a lip here, like most books. So I'm going to set this aside for now. I have this already measured out. I went 1/2 inch in and 1/2 inch in. So I have the holes here, center, bottom. I've also marked this as the top so that I know that's the top of my spine. All right, I was digging for my binder clips. As I said, it's been a busy couple days of crafting. So my floor is like wall to wall covered in like projects that I've started. And at some point, I'll organize, put away, resort, restart. But it is officially 8 minutes after Christmas. It has taken me almost an hour to get my laptop to connect to StreamYard. Not sure what the malfunction was. Not a clue. The inside page, so the center page of each signature, is already marked out with the dots, and those coincide with the holes in the spine. So there, and there. So I'm going to punch the holes in this, and then we'll start sewing the signatures in. I already have the needle threaded with one piece of thread. So make sure, because I got a couple short pages, and I just want to make sure that if there's a short page, like this one, the center is slightly smaller. I just want to make sure that they're lined up correctly. Now I take my very sharp edged ruler, not like cutting sharp, but my metal ruler, and I push it down into that spine really, really tightly. And that's just to make sure that, all of your pages are together. Where my thumb is, where I'm putting the most amount of pressure, that's where I do my first clamping. And then I come up here and I switch over to the top. Not only should I have had these out already, but I should have already had them open. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing. Same thing here. If this side is done, this side should be easy to clamp down. Okay, before I go on to the next signature, I'm going to open 4 of those. So I have to struggle quite so much. Also moving these out a little bit. Sorry, I just realized I was doing that right under the microphone. Okay. I'm going to set this one aside. Get this one. Again, it's finding that center, ruffling through, looking for those shorter pieces. And I know this one has 2 that are shorter. And I just want to make sure they're in the center so that, you know, when I'm stitching that spine, that I'm not missing it completely, and then it's depending on oh, these binder clips are brand new, so they're like really, really stiff. They're not having to depend upon like one hole to hold a signature in, or one in a barely. Okay. Get this last one in. Good there. Looking good there. The other part is you always want to make sure which end is up. Could not tell you how many times one of us creators has, stitched something in upside down. I know I've done it. I'm going to put these down so they're out of my way. See? And I almost did it. There's my top. Fortunately, I do have holes in here. So you have 2 options. If you don't have one of these nifty little, book cradles, draw the holes, stick this into like the spine of a book and punch through, or that's the best way to do it, because when you lay it flat, this is going to bow out. See how that's, versus nice and tight. So if you're trying to do it on a flat surface, your holes aren't going to line up. So you want to do it like in the fold of a book. So you're making a cradle. Now this, I just so happened when I measured this out, I'm like, oh, that lines up perfectly with the holes. That hasn't happened for me in a long time. That's why the holes are drawn in here, actually. So with this, you stick your book in the center there. You stick this little thing down. And it's hard to see, but there are numbers down here. And I've written down where I need to punch a hole. I just gotta, there it is. I'm like, I just gotta find my awl. So punch in 4. $15 and $26. In this case, now it should have gone. It should go right through my holes. 4, 15, 26. Just ever so slightly off there. Not enough that I'm gonna like panic. Okay, again, I'm gonna close these down. Get that in the crook. Get it down in there. 4, 15, 26. I'm just kind of pushing those through, making sure that the holes are big enough. Ouch! And stabbing myself in the finger. And then when you set these together, your lines should, or your holes should be in the same location, straight across from each other. It's hard to tell with the binder clips in the way. And then this, where are my, oh, there they are. These are my other measurement tools on different bindings. I got a 5-hole and stuff. So that is there. And then I put that over there out of the way. And the awl goes in one of the holes just so I don't lose it, because I lose them all the time. Okay. Top. First decision you need to make is, do you want it to tie on the outside of the spine, which will be glued down and covered and you won't see anything. All you'll see on the inside is 2 rows of, 2 long stitches, or start on the inside so you have strings on the inside of your binding to tie stuff to. I like to do mine on the inside, even if I don't put, some sort of dangle or anything on there. I just like the strings hanging out the bottom. Personal preference. Okay, so I'm going to go in through the middle, into a hole, make sure my spine is facing the top. Pull it, but don't go all the way through. You want that tail to still be on the inside of your journal. Then you're going to go through a top hole of your spine into the center of your book. Okay, so now you have this. Right? Go all the way down out the bottom hole into the bottom hole of the spine. Got tangled up. Back out. This is the hard part, is keeping things tight but not tearing your paper. Just remember, it is just paper. So what I do a lot of times is I'll take this and I'll pull it put it down under one of these binder clips. And I can take the rest of them off now because I've gone through all 3 holes and I know things are lined up. But this one I'm leaving on to hold that thread. Which it's on the other, I should do it on the other side. Let me switch. And I'll explain why in just a second. So you have your center string. By going this way, it's crossing that center string. So I'm going to switch it over to this side. So that it's on the, see, it's on the other side. And I will explain that in just a second. And that is because when you go back through the center, you need your wings, your 2 pieces of thread, on opposite sides of this center. So you don't want them on both sides, the same on the sides. You want to be able to move your center over and make sure you don't split that center thread. Pull it through. You got to make sure that you're pulling it all the way through. Always check, because sometimes you get tangled up and you get knots like that and you think you're tight and you're really not. And then, you know, you don't realize it till it's too late. Been there, done that. And then you got to figure out how to tighten everything down. So right over left, left over right. There's supposed to be a magical solution to that. I just do 3 knots. And then I grab my scissors wherever they're at. Cut this off. And I leave them nice and long. Like I said, just in case I decide to hang something on them, it gives me thread to tie it around. Or tie a bow in the center, or, you know, whatever I decide to do. But if I cut them short and I cut them way up there at the knot, I have no choices. Take that one off. Okay. The first thing we're going to do before we do on them, move my thread and it just like got hung up on the microphone, is retrain the spine. All you're doing is just giving it a smush down. You know, making sure you're in there securely. Now, the only way to really fix if they're too loose is to then grab these strings, you know, and tie them somehow or another so that they are tighter. I'm okay with where they're at. They could have been just a slight bit tighter, but I've got some delicate papers in here, so I definitely did not want to tear my paper. So again, I'll probably give this one a little better tug because the center is very thick. So again, through the center, through that center hole. And I'm going to go back this way just for my sake. Leave a nice long tail. Back through the hole here at the top. Through the hole in the signature. Tighten it up just a smidge. All the way down to this bottom. Out the signature. Through the spine. Okay, and it's on this side of the center string. So I'm going to use this binder clip to hold it. And that's more just so that I don't accidentally pull it all the way through, because that's really frustrating to get almost done. And then in the last pull, whoop, there goes your center string. Done that a bazillion times. Because the 3 and the 5 hole pamphlet stitch is my favorite binding. So this is the one I do most often. Um, so it's, it's the one I screw up the most. So back through the center hole of that spine, through the center hole of the signature. And again, you can see the needle is coming out on the same side as the thread. So you want to make sure that it goes on the opposite side. Give that a little snuggy tug. I'm going to look on the outside, make sure I'm not tangled up on anything. All right. Unthread my needle there. Nice snug tug. And that's kind of something you have to decide on your own, like how much of a pull you want to give, because you're going to know what papers you used. And if that center paper is really thin or it's a more fragile piece of paper, you can't really tug on it too much like that, because then it just tears instead of, gets tight. This is a pocket, a bag, and it's what's the word I'm looking for? Collaged on both sides, so it's very thick. This is like 4 layers of paper on, down through the center, so it had a lot of strength. So give it a nice strong tug. So there's the signatures. I've paused and tried to decide whether I wanted to put lace here, have a lace pocket. I don't have too many flat laces. Most of them are gathered. But, no big deal. If all you had was gathered lace, you just cut the gathering part off and then it becomes a flat lace. Gathered lace starts out flat. So I'm going to put this on here. And the reason I was contemplating this ahead of time, because you'd want to just go over, it makes it the most sense to just go over the spine here, and then it'll get glued in extra securely with your signatures. Nice antique flat lace. It's one of my many auction wins. Okay, get my Fabri-Tac out, because again, I'm gluing fabric. I'm also not going to put book corners on this one, because I can't get around this fluff right here. So this one won't have book corners on it. I had the glue down where I wanted it, and then I got sidetracked and okay. Just kind of using the lace as a measuring guide, so I know, how high to go on both sides. Through the center. Didn't really necessarily need to do that until after I started it. I realized, I'm going to be gluing the spine down anyway. Sometimes the hardest part about lace is figuring out which is the front. I mean, no harm, no foul adding some extra glue in there because, I mean, what's the worst that can happen by doing that? Okay, so I got the sides glued down, across the bottom, up the side. Okay. Now this part, you do not want to skimp on your glue. Yes, Fabri-Tac is very expensive glue, but you don't want to skimp here because you want to make sure that you're binding in very, very, concretely. So you're going to put glue all over this. Not only does this, it secures your signature and your spine into the book cover itself, but it also helps secure these threads. So like most things that I'm gluing, I go around the outside. Trying to get as close to the edge as I can, and then fill in the middle. Anywhere you think that you don't have enough glue, add more. And when you think you have enough, add just a little extra. Because again, what's the worst that's going to happen? You have too much glue. Okay. Then this goes right into this center piece. And again, I made it so that it fits exactly on there. There's no extra give, no extra space. So you just get that in there, give it a nice squish down. Grab your innards, because you got the strength of all of these papers also. And for me, I've got pockets and stuff in here, so it's actually the signatures themselves are actually pretty stiff at this point. Just giving it a nice smush down. You also want to make sure, again, that you're centered this way and that you're on the actual internal or the external spine, that your internal spine is on the external. Okay. Now the imperfections of homemade journals is that even though my pages are all the same size, I use the exact same measurements. One of my signatures, they're like this. It is what it is. It's what happens. It's funny. My daughter was here and she was crafting with me, and I'm like, I finished with something, and I'm like, toss it in that pile. Toss it in that pile. I'm like, yeah, that's why my floor looks the way it does. Because I'm like, do. Where is my? Oh, duh. I moved it thinking it was something else. My zipper pouch. With all the extra. So it's all the envelopes. I've got them all glued. I did some embossing on some of them. I tried to get creative on a couple, messed a couple up. So they ended up in the garbage. But hey, c'est la vie, right? Putting away my binder clips. Okay, so let me re-separate. I had these all separated and then I stuck them in the container. I mean in the zipper pouch. Now they're all messed up again. I also need to go grab my corner rounder. Is I have some pockets in here that these very sharp corners are not going to like. So I'm going to round the corners on all of my tags and my journaling cards. Oop. Just to help them go in and out of pockets a little bit easier. Nope, that's not it for this. Organizing. Grab my handy dandy corner rounder. Oh, that's big. That's big. That's better. I'll just stick it in there and go boink. And this has 3 different settings on it. There's some that I have to punch because they were meant to be that way. And I didn't want to cut around a curve. So I just left the point there. But the blue that it's printed on is still visible, like on this one. And I did the smaller one, but this one actually has a bigger. Let me check this one while it's in my hand. Oh, nope. See, that one's got to have the next one up too. Oh, sorry. I'm off camera. And this is the messy part. You get little dots everywhere. Little. Okay, so I'm going to put that where I can keep track of it. I don't remember if I said this was a pillowcase. See, like I have this. This is made out of that tulle. And so sticking something like this that's got sharp corners. See, see how it grabs. So you want something colorful in that front, though, because it is against the coffee. I didn't back any of these. I printed them on a heavier cardstock, so they are still flimsy. But I wanted it to be. I wanted the journal to be thin going out the door, so that whoever gets it has room to decorate. I'm fishing for my walnut stain. I mean, I have a whole stack of stuff. So I'll go through once. You'll be able to see all the decorations that I've got going here. I did this one, different die cuts, fish, crabs, just various things. But this is also a pocket, and this is a pocket that's made from the paper that's inside a Chewy box. You know, Chewy, the pet company. I don't know if this is the only tall tag I have. And I haven't fully committed either to sticking with only these. I do have my die cuts, my dies out behind me of all the different tag shapes that I have. So I may incorporate some other stuff in here depending on how full it gets. This is Citresolve National Geographic paper. I backed it with a thin piece of book page because this would not go through my die cut machine by itself. The Nat Geo pages are too thin. So I backed it with book page and then ran it through the die cut machine, just made this little frame. So whoever gets it can like put another piece of paper over this and use it as a writing spot. They could decorate it with some of the stuff that'll come with in the kit or do whatever they want with it. But it's just kind of a semi-blank space. Tiny little pocket. I don't want to put a girl on with the mermaid though. Let's see, what do I have over here? Those go sideways. Those aren't going to fit. So a tag it shall be. I think these tall ones are what was originally meant to be in there. This is a combination of several kits, all by the same artist, the same Etsy designer. These pages are a different shop. The Mermaid pictures, all of the ephemera, the pockets, the tags, and everything are an different Etsy shop. And then I have some stuff in here that's from Tina Shabby Dabby Doodah. So again, I gave a writing space here, and I did some embossing on this page. I didn't do a whole lot of embossing. I did some. I've got the glitter here, a little gold mermaid, and then this little thing, which to me kind of made it look like a wormhole or like a portal. Blank canvases. This is 3 pockets in one. And it's so cute because my granddaughter, she watches her mom and I do these journals. And so she was watching me glue it on and she goes, Grandma, there's a pocket there, a pocket there, a pocket there, and a pocket. And she stops and she goes, Grandma, there's not a pocket up there. And I go, no, I didn't put a pocket there this time. But she's so used to us not gluing things all the way down and creating, an extra pocket or gluing it here, here, and here and having a side pocket or something like that. But did I ink that? I don't remember. This pocket's going to be tough because it's got so many, I don't want to like fill all the pockets and then run out of stuff. So this background, this lacy is Tina Shabby Dabby Doodah. This background is that tissue paper, the same stuff that I've lined the inside of the cover with. And oh yeah, you can tell I did some embossing with silver powder. So I got the scalies down here, and then this is a lotus flower. It's hard to see on camera where the lines are, but it's there. I'm going to start with just one tag there, and I don't remember how. See, but I don't want to cover that top top too much. So I'm going to hold off. I went through and I stamped wherever there was a blank page that didn't have imaging on it or letters or whatever. I stamped these lines so that it becomes writing space. So here. There are lines here. They did not stamp very well. For whatever reason, this paper did not take the ink at all. Did not like it. And this is a big top loading pocket. So it's the entire size of the page. I do have to make something to fit in there. Probably have to look for some images to put on there. This is decorative. This is not a pocket. This is glued down solid. But again, it gives writing space. And this is from those napkins that I showed in a previous video. The purple napkins that has the fishtail sticking out. And then these are from the other napkin, cutting out the little images. This is a side loading pocket, and it is 3. So this is where you get to start using some of these bigger items. What's on that page? We put a pretty mermaid. And then I want something blue there. And I'll make something big to go behind there. This is, I just used my blender brushes. This is spiced marmalade, squeezed lemonade, and tattered rose. So orange, yellow, and pink. All just kind of blended in there. And I did that just to kind of pull over some of this color that's in this picture, to pull that over that way. This filigree is from the same studio as this. Little pocket here, and then I cut this tail out of that purple napkin and tucked it in there, and it's got it coming out of the tail. So that'll be a nice little surprise. Let's see. Center of the signature. This was fun. I had a lot of fun doing this. So it's not interactive except for, this flips up, but I created this whole little sea scene. So there's fish, turtle. I stamped the bubbles. I just cut that turtle's fin there. Come on, glue. I just need a little bit. Did some basic stamping underneath, and then down here I have more die cuts. I'm like, where'd my towel go? But yeah, given depth, there's things in between, in front of, and behind all the elements. Then this just covers it up like it's all underwater. And then I just have a gold ribbon tape up here holding it on. Double pockets. I put my stuff all in a pile together. not productive. I get a glue burr. Okay, so the big ones don't fit. Need one of these smaller ones. Okay, and then something little for up there. So obviously, you know, I can't use one of these big tags, which is what these little pockets were designed for. You know, they came as, you know, a set together, but I'm like, eh. Do I like the fishy there? So I got these two that need to go sideways. Those ones keep jumping back out at me too. Or, whoops. Really? That landed in my garbage can. It's a good thing I just emptied my garbage can. But I do have, rather than going blue and blue, I do have this one. That one won't fit. I guess that answers that question. And again, big pocket here. I'll have to make something for. This was a fun pocket. You know, and I could also, I have all these envelopes, you know, so I could also, you know, put an envelope inside a pocket, which I may go back into. But these, there's one in each signature. This is 3 different die cuts. The wave is 1 die cut. The dolphins are 1 die cut. The bubbles are 1. And then I backed it with tracing paper. And the main reason I backed it is to give it a nice straight edge up on top. But also, again, when you're tucking stuff in, you don't want stuff getting caught in the holes and tearing your book. Tearing your pocket out, you know. So we're gonna start. I almost wish I had something that would poke out the top, but I don't. I'll start with that. Just put a little direction sign on the map. We'll pocket with the castle. Now here I could do a long tag. This is a gusseted pocket, so it does want more than one thing in it to keep it from, you know, doing that. I think that is too big. Or I can use one of these wider tags. But I think I want to utilize the space here. So I'll put that and this just to give it a little bit of hold in there. Belly band. So I'll have to make some, maybe. Or, you know, I could potentially, you know, put the flap of an envelope and safety pin it. This is a double pocket. So there's a pocket here and there's a pocket here. And this side is open. So it's more like a tuck. But I'm going to go ahead and I hadn't decided when I was doing this whether I was going to glue this side, because this side one is not gusseted like the rest of the pocket. But because I put it on a short pocket, it's not going to be able, you know, you can't slide so much in from the side because it's a short pocket. I mean, it's a short page. So I'm going to turn it from a tuck to a pocket. So I've got, okay, now we got some side ones coming up. I've got these two that need to go sideways. And I just realized I haven't been inking anything, but that's okay. I can go back and ink off camera. So this requires a tall, something tall. And these are my tallest. And you can see it just disappears in there. So I will have to make some tall tags for this pocket. And then, let's see, what do we have? But that guy, because then it pulls in the coffee. Start with that anyway. End of signature 1, beginning of signature 2. Nice image here. And again, we have this mesh pocket. This is a die cut that I put on there. Little nubby to trim off. And again, you want whatever goes in here, you can hear it, right? So you want to be able to, you want to cut those ends off. Or trim the corners. I kind of like that because then the fishies are swimming. So again, just going around. See how much easier that slides in there? No hang-ups. But yeah, you can see the fish under the net. Well, I can see the fish under the net. I don't know. I don't know how well you guys can. I wish I had more of these. This brown. I wish there was more in those. There we go. I'm glued closed. This pocket is little beach scene. This is one piece of paper glued in half, and it's sandwiching another half. You'll see it in a little bit. Those are not wanting to stay still. So we're just going to do that. So this one can be a tuck. So it can come, you can either do it as a pocket, but I've got bigger items. So it can come in as a tuck like this, although it was glued. So then you can have things that stick out like this if you choose to. Do I have any more of those big ones? Doesn't look like it. But I kind of like that because then you can see the image. So we'll start with that. Another set of doubles. Where's my two that go sideways? Where did I put them? Pardon me, Laura. Where did you put them? Oh, they're there. I do wish I wasn't so blue on blue. Like I was saying, I wish that this set had more of the lighter colors. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers. And again, I just have die cuts glued in behind the pockets. which I did after the fact. So one of my pockets got glued closed. I really struggled with the second signature. I had a hard time wrapping my brain. This is another fun little, just interactive project. There are 6 little flippies, and I created a little scene behind each one. So there's mermaids, fish, plant life under each little flippy flappy. Just something fun. And whoever, I mean, if you put something on here, it's going to weight it down and it's going to hold it down better. But I didn't want to make that decision for whoever. And again, this is done with the Stitch Resolve Nat Geo papers. And it's got a thin paper book page in the center, and it's sandwiched between 2 different pages. So you get, different images when you flip the flaps up. Again, another one of these pockets. Ooh, those are too short. They will get lost in there. I'm going to start with an envelope there. Another set of these, and this is the center this time, so pocket. I did not put the lines on this one. I haven't decided. I may, I know, little mermaid swimming with the dolphins here. I may put focal points on those. I may just let the person who gets it do it. Another one of these little sideways pocket, long, flat pockets. But I don't like the fish in any of them. I'd rather have one of these. There. This was a journaling card, but I needed an extra pocket. So I just went backwards L and turned this into a tuck spot. And we'll start with this. I'll probably make something bigger to go behind that. More decoration here. Fun little pocket. I don't know if I have anything to fit in these pockets is the thing. Now this is could be 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets. Well, not could be. It is 4 pockets. So there's one long one here. Goes all the way down to here. This little short one is just here to here. And then the same here. This goes all the way down. And then this goes here. This line of glue is optional. So you could make this top pocket go all the way down if you choose to. I'm not a big fan of them being that deep just because I feel like, stuff gets lost. I will find some short stuff, because I also don't want to cover the decorations up too much. And this is what's, see, that's not going to want to stand there by itself. This page is folded in half and glued to the little flip that's holding this one in. Little strip of paper that's on the other side. And so glue them together and sandwich them. You're just not going to be sideways anywhere because I didn't like you in any of the sideways pockets. And yeah. I don't want to do blue on top of. So I did emboss here and tried to do some embossing here, but I used a different pad, a different ink pad, and it didn't emboss very well. So, okay, so now I have all of this stuff. Let's go back. Let's go back. Oh, I didn't even put anything in the front pocket. Let's see. Put that in there. Put that in there. Anything else? It needs a partner. Wow, even 2 is not going to want to stick in there. We'll see how those do. Okay. These ones, let's see. I know I have some small envelopes here. I don't know if the envelopes are going to be too thick. We'll see. Nope. Let's do it like that. Again, it's a lot of blue on blue. I'm going to leave that for... yeah, I'm going to leave that for now. Let's see. Get an envelope in there with that one. That'll make it nice and snug. Go behind you. I'm going to make something bigger for here. Make something bigger for here. Those are staying. I'm going to make something tall here. A shipwreck. Whew. Around those Qantas. Better. Already have 2 in there. I'll make something to go there. I'm going to need something, a second something up there. See if the flap was bigger. So that's too tall because then it'll be sticking out the top. It's weird the way that printed. Little tiny envelope. Put it in there. It gives it a stability buddy. Again, I need to make something to go there. I think we're good there. There. 2 things there. I don't want to do mermaid on top of mermaid. I'll make something to go there. Nope, too narrow. Or not narrow enough, I should say. I'll find something to go in those. Okay. As you can see, it's getting a little chunky. So what I'll do with these is I'll put them in the box over in this little side section over there. For now, anyway, I gotta figure out some sort of containment, because there's got to be room for the flap. And some of these are just not going to fit in here. I was hoping they would, but so I don't know. I may have to surprise these under. And I have a bunch of extra fish and dolphins and stuff, which I'll make a little envelope, or I'll fill one of those envelopes or several of those envelopes with. I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to do a topper. I have the cardboard, but I haven't started looking for an image or anything to put on the front. So I haven't decided if I'm going to do that yet. But, and I still have to decorate the top of the box. But that's what we have so far. And that is it for now. Thanks for tuning in. Please hit that like button on your way out if you didn't do so on the way in. Subscribe button is always a welcome notification, as well as hitting that notification bell so that you know when I drop videos. And feel free to share my videos with anybody that you think would like my content and direct them to my channel. And that is it for now. We will see you next time. Bye.